Sometimes connections made on Craigslist turn violent, even deadly.
Taken for almost $10,000 after a Craigslist scam.
Craigslist scammer targets a teen in Romeo.
Craigslist scam.
Police are looking for a Craigslist scammer.
Instead of making some money, he just got scammed for more than $2,000.
On Craigslist, both buyers and sellers are at risk. And in this video, you'll discover the main scams, how you can easily spot them, what you can do to stay safe, and what to do if you've been scammed. The most popular Craigslist scam involves a distant buyer purchasing your item. The person will often pretend to be someone trustworthy like a soldier or a single mother. They may even send you photographs of themselves and describe elaborate stories. Once they have your trust, they will send you a check for the amount, which is often substantially larger than the asking price, and ask you to send part of the money to a bogus shipping company. The checks they send are phony. The scam is simple. You deposit the fake check and send portion of the money to the scammer's associates. A few days later, the checks will bounce and you will have to pay back the bank. So how do you spot a scam? One of the biggest indicators is when a buyer can't meet you in person. Never deal with a distant buyer, no matter how convincing their story is. Accept only cash or wait for the check to clear before sending your item. Don't trust any type of purchase protection or escrow proposed by the buyer. Countless other scams involve fake property rentals, tickets, job offers, etc. But they all have one thing in common. You're dealing with a distant buyer who wants to send you money and then have you send a portion of the money back. Unfortunately, even local buyers and sellers can be scammers. A popular car scam involves selling you a vehicle with a phony car title that is not properly filled up. You need to make sure the title is properly filled and then perform a VIN check to make sure the mileage that's on the odometer matches the records and that the car wasn't salvaged. Local car buyers also need to be aware of violent attacks, which are becoming more and more frequent.
When Lemel headed to his car to get the money, the seller popped the trunk of the Malibu.
The trunk was right here, it popped, and I looked over and I see dude pushing the trunk up. I seen the gun, it was probably about a 4-inch barrel, and I looked at him and I was like, it's a setup, they got a robbery, he's got a gun.
Lemel took off, running down the street with the money.
Here's a few tips that you should follow. Always meet in a public place. Meeting in a police parking lot is the best location, and many of the local police departments now have a public exchange zone where you can exchange the goods. Never invite the buyer to your house or go to anyone else's property. This is how many attacks happen. If you must go to a non-public place, always have someone with you. So, what should you do if you get scammed? Avoid physical confrontations. The criminals may be armed and dangerous. Report the scam to your local police department and get a police file number. Most of the time, the police will not be able to help you, but you should still report the crime. Never attempt to cash the checks you receive. It's also very important to spread awareness about this scam to your friends and relatives. And as the saying goes, squeaky wheel gets the grease, so the more noise and awareness we can raise about these scams, the more organizations and news sites will take notice and less people will fall for these scams. So please tell us about your Craigslist experience using the form below. Thank you for using the site.